Om. 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 Sairam, everyone. Just to recollect what we were discussing at the last study circle, Arjuna is asking Krishna that, in this world, there are some people who are rich, some people who are poor, and so on. And he was expressing his doubt about the differentiation of the Lord among people, and Krishna is trying to explain that the reason is that it's not that the Lord who differentiates between people, it is what each individual does, whether they want to make use of the Lord or not. That's what we were discussing. So I will stop here and I will ask sisters to continue from where we left off. Saira.
Did you notice the loving words of Krishna, the shower of his grace? How true are his words. Really, people do not understand the faults in themselves. They seek faults in others. If the Lord has faults, how can the world exist or survive? The Lord sees all as equal. His heart embraces all in love. That is the reason why the world has at least this much of peace and prosperity. The doctor may declare that the patient has no fever just to console the sick man. The thermometer cannot lie. God knows and reacts to the inner feeling, not to the outer appearance. He can never go wrong, nor can he be deceived. The world considers only the outward appearance. It is guided by that alone. Wade in the river. Then only can you know the depth of the water. Eat, if you must know the taste. When people pronounce judgments on the depth or the taste without waiting or tasting, how can their declarations be taken as true? If the Lord himself was affected by partiality, how could he award the bliss of Sayujya, unity in God, to the cowherd maids in Vrindavan? Would he have partaken of fruits partly eaten by Sabari? Could Janaka have become a Brahmajnani? Could Nandanar have achieved the grand vision of the Lord? Could Prahalada and Vibhishana have approached the Lord? Would Hanuman have been accepted as the messenger of Rama? Could Valmiki have written the great epic Ramayana? Do these indicate any partiality in the composition of the Lord? Or do they prove that he has no such trait? These are examples of the Lord's prema, his uniform kindness to all.
Thank you, Kalyani. I think we will read the Telugu, auntie.
Yeah. It starts with Krishna Bhagawan. Nannu పొందుటికి అందరికీ అధికారం ఉండదు.
I think it's Chuchitira, I think, auntie.
Chuchitra. Yeah, Chuchitra Paramatmani Palukula. Yeah, I'll start from there.
That's where
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Chuchitra Paramatmani Palukulu Prema Varshapu Chinukulu Enta Satyamo. Yeah, I think.
Did you notice the Lord's loving words? His equal vision and how true it is.
Yeah.
Antli tolukulu is
పలుకులు మాటలు, పలుకులు అంటే మాటలు.
samana tolukulu you said?
His words.
Prema
Some-
palukulu. Samana tolukulu, you know?
సమానత్వం. His words
Yeah.
are always
Equivalent.
equanimity.
Equal.
Equal.
Equitable, if you want to say.
Equitable. నిజముగా లోకులు కాకులు.
In reality, the worldly people are like crows.
తమ తమ లోపములను విచారించక ఎదుటి వారిపై దోషములను రుద్దుట అజ్ఞానము.
Without evaluating their own defects, whatever is within them, to look at other people's defects is ignorance.
పరమాత్మ యందే దోషం ఉండిన లోకం ఉండదు.
If there is defect in the Lord, there will not be the world.
పరమాత్మ భేదరహితుడు, సమాన హృదయుడు కనుకనే లోకము ఈ మాత్రమైన క్షేమముగా నిలిచినది.
The Lord does not entertain differences, and this world, because of that, because of his equalness in his heart,
Equal mindedness, you can say.
equal mindedness. His heart is equal, full of equanimity, who looks at everything equally. Because of that, the world exists in such welfare, with welfare.
రోగికి సారీ
Or wellness. క్షేమముగా అంటే wellness అంటే
నిలిచినది, క్షేమముగా నిలిచింది. రోగికి జ్వరము లేదని రోగి తృప్తికై డాక్టరు అబద్ధము చెప్పినను,
even if the doctor tells a lie so that the patient feels better, that he does not have fever,
థర్మామీటర్ తప్పు చూపదు.
the thermometer will never lie. But I think Swami has used the word thermometer, aren't he?
Oh, thermometer he has written.
Yes,
I think
know.
it is thermometer only.
Thermometer only. Yeah. The thermometer will not lie.
అటులనే పరమాత్మ టెంపరేచర్ వంటి అంతరాత్మను చూచునే కానీ పై పూతలను కాదు.
So the same way, the Lord also looks at the temperature, internal temperature, but he will not look at the external aspects.
లోకులు పై రూపములే పాటింతురు.
The world looks at the external appearance.
తినిన రుచి దిగిన లోతు తెలిసికొనగలరే గాని దిగక లోతు తినక రుచి చెప్పవార్ల పలుకులు సత్యములు కాజాలవు.
Okay. They will talk about the taste of what they eat. Digina lotu until you will have to.
దిగిన లోతు, the depth of their descent. The depth of
I see. Digina lotu. Okay, the depth of the descent. Yes. Only that they can see, but they cannot see the depth of which they cannot get down to, and whatever the taste of what they have not eaten. So if people talk about the depth without getting down, or talk about taste without eating, their words are not true. It cannot be true.
భగవంతునికే భేదముండినా స్త్రీలైన గోపికలకు సాయుధ్యం ఇచ్చి ఉండునా.
If the Lord, his differences, would he have granted the gopikas the sayujya, the merger with the Lord?
శబరి ఎంగిలి ఫలములు తిని ఉండునా.
would he have eaten the fruits which were already tasted by Shabari?
జనకుడు బ్రహ్మజ్ఞాని అయ్యుండునా?
Would Janaka could he have become a Brahmajnani?
నందనారకు దివ్య దర్శనం ఇచ్చి ఉండునా?
Would he have granted darshan to Nandanar?
ప్రహ్లాద విభీషణాదులు దగ్గర చేరి ఉండునా?
Would he have gone near to Prahlada and Vibhishana?
వానరుడైన హనుమంతుని బంటుగా అంగీకరించి ఉండునా?
Would he have accepted Hanuman, who was a monkey, as his own relative? Bantu and a friend, auntie.
సేవకన్ బంటు.
Bantu, okay. He's as a servant.
Yeah. వాల్మీకి రామాయణము వ్రాయగలిగి ఉండినా?
Would Valmiki would he have been able to write the Ramayana?
ఈ కార్యములన్నీ భగవంతునిలో భేదభావం నిరూపించినవా?
Did any of these actions show differences in the eyes of the Lord?
భేదరహితునిగా ఆదర్శించినవా? భేదరహితునిగా
he has demonstrated that he does not have any differentiation.
పాఠకులు యోచించిన విషయం తెలియను.
All the students, if they inquire, they will know the subject or truth.
భగవంతుని ప్రేమ తత్వమునకు సమానత్వమునకు పై ఉదాహరణలే తార్కాణము.
The above examples are the proof of the Lord's
his uniform kindness is written in. తార్కాణము అంటే ఏమి?
తార్కాణము, I will just check, auntie.
తారతమ్యము சொல்றாரு, அதுனா తార్కాణము.
తార్కాణము అన్న an example, discussion, proof, evidence.
ఉదాహరణములే తార్కాణము.
ఉదాహరణం. They are the evidence. You can say evidence, auntie.
Evidence.
Yeah.
Sorry, the previous line, can you just translate that again?
భేదరహితునిగా పాఠకులు యోచించిన విషయము తెలియను.
If people who are students, so people who are studying it, if they inquire, they will know the subject. Vishaya means the real truth.
భగవంతుని ప్రేమ తత్వమునకు సమానత్వమునకు పై ఉదాహరణములే తార్కాణము.
The above examples are the evidences for the equal mindedness of the Lord. I don't know, not equal minded, is
uniform kindness he has written.
Is it like the sameness of his love, or?
Yeah.
Yes.
Equanimity, you can that's not word. That's not a word.
Is equal vision, something like that.
Equal mindedness, or
sometimes equal mindedness means, auntie, people may think that the person doesn't become upset, or he is not changed.
He is calm and quiet. Equal mindedness.
Yeah, that's why I couldn't.
Yeah.
Is it saying the equalness of his prema tattva?
That you can say, equalness of his prema tattva.
Because he looks at everything as equal, everyone as equal. I don't know whether there's any other word in English which can. We can check, but it's a samanatva.
He is equal to all, we can say, that's all, in his treatment.
Yes.
So it's saying prema tattva munaku samanatvan. Okay.
Yeah. Prema tattvamunaku samanatvamunaku. Both. There are two things here. His principle of love and his.
Oh, so the above are examples of both the
both. Prema tattva and samanatva.
Oh, okay.
Equality.
Equality is it is.
Equality may be good, I guess.
Yeah.
Auntie, can you read one more time? Prema Tattva and Samana Tattva? What does it?
Samana. Equal.
Okay.
Samanam. To the Lord, all are equal.
The proof of his equal love for everyone. I think that may be a good thing.
So we can say Ek Saman. Everybody's Ek Saman.
Yeah, Ek Saman.
Oh.
Anyone would like to share anything? Do we think that words equal? All of us, each of us have, different circumstances, different strengths, different skills, different blessings. Yes, Brother Dasan.
Yes, Sairam, brother. There was a question a lot of people ask. I think most of the people knows. They ask this question. We see every day. King see seldom. God never see. What is that?
We see every day.
We see every day. King see seldom. God never see. Based on this paragraph, that is, I'll give the answer equal.
You mean we seek faults in others every day?
Yeah, we see difference, we always think about equal. He's not equal, he's not equal. We take any subject.
Yeah.
But king sees seldom because there's no, only one or two king.
Yeah.
But God never see equal. Everyone's same for him. But the people always blame the God, but he is seeing us, everyone same.
Yeah. If something goes wrong, immediately people start blaming the Lord, blaming God. You are giving us so much trouble. You are torturing us. You are doing all kinds of punishment to me. Why should I get? Why should I become the target for all your punishments? This is the general way of our behavior.
Hi, Ram, brother. I just want you to, can you please double check if that sentence is right, brother?
Which one?
When the God embrace everyone with love, right? In that case, then that is the reason why world has at least this much of peace and prosperity. Is that the way Swami is saying? Because of his embrace everyone in love? That is the reason?
No, actually, the sentence is that if God has faults or defects, the world will not exist.
Yes, that's right.
Okay, and the world will not exist with all the wellness it is
Yes.
blessed with. Yes. I don't think the Lord, if there are faults, that's the way in Telugu. I can read it again.
His heart embrace all in love. That is the reason why the world at least this much of peace. Why at least this much of? When he says embrace with everyone love, then embrace everyone in love. Then why Swami is going to say at least this much?
So Swami is saying Paramatma Vedarahitudu Samana Hridayadu Kanukane Lokamu E Matramainanu Ksemamuga Nilichinadi. Swami is saying because the Lord does not have differences and he looks at everyone with equality. That is the only reason, even to this extent, the world has welfare in it. It's something like that. See, that's what the translation is. So the translation is pretty okay, sister.
Okay.
You have a question on that?
Oh, I'm just thinking, because of God embraced you in love, then why
Yes.
you were saying that at least this is, so that means something is missing. I don't know. I couldn't, because he's embraced in love everybody.
So no. So
Then
the
at
thing
the
is,
same time, because of our karma, he's talking about something. He's talking us to say that those are the things are affecting.
yes, you are right.
Bringing the
Yes.
less peace and the prosperity. So
Yes, what,
something is affecting. Even though he's embracing everybody is with love.
yeah. So the Swami has given the reason about that itself, sister.
Because we are seeing differently.
Exactly. We are seeking other people's faults, differences, and that's causing all the issues.
So the difference only causing the peace and is affecting the peace and the prosperity.
Yes.
Even
See,
though
the reality, see, if there's people are poor in this world,
yes.
if they are poor in this world, we treat ourselves different from other people. Everyone is in a state of competition. They want more for themselves. If they treat everyone equally, then this world will have everyone will have everything. But some people want to accumulate, so the others are devoid of it. If somebody else suffers, we may not care. We care about ourselves. So that's what Swami is saying. Only because God is looking out, some people are still surviving. If not for God, the world will be, that's it. It'll have gone to.
Oh yes.
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 That is what Swami is trying to say.
Okay. Now it's clear. Yes, please. Thank you.
Silence.
And Swami says worldly people are like crows.
People are like crows. That's what Swami said.
What is the crows? That's we have to know, right? Why we are crows? We don't. What is the crows?
It continues cross.
Go on,
Continue.
ka, ka, ka. That's it. We keep on talking too much.
Okay, I think Uncle Gopalan or Auntie Kamala wants to say something.
Sairam.
Sairam.
I'm recalling after the Second World War, just after the Second World War, the Jewish faith of people who went through genocide, they all had a discussion whether there is really a God. Why so much happened to that particular group? And finally, after this discussion, they decided there is a God. So our thinking is as earlier Swami has said, it's our thinking, how we perceive.
I don't know what whether. Thank you, Uncle. Anyone else would like to?
It's the Lord himself.
We are all okay, then we can.
The examples that Swami is giving, so he gave the example of like Valmiki, like saying that because he was a robber, that even as a robber he could become great, like a great saint.
Yes.
And then for Prahlada and Vibhishana, is it because they are Rakshasas? That's why he's giving that message. Then for Nandanar, he was a low caste.
Yeah, yeah. You can classify them as like that also, but they were great devotees.
Yeah, so I'm just wondering about the specific reasons for each of them.
There may be. Actually, Shabari belongs to a very low caste.
Okay.
And and so he accepted. She had already eaten those fruits, and Rama still ate them.
Brother, the story of Nandana, I really don't know that story. What is that story related? Can you please say the story, please? Because we know Prahlada, Sabari, we have come across Valmiki. But Nandana, did we come across one? Auntie was saying yes. Which is one?
Arun will go for that.
Okay, Nandana story.
He's telling anyway.
Yeah.
Uncle Gopal, do you want to tell the story?
Yeah,
So,
he can.
I think many of us know the story of Nandana. He comes from a very low caste background, but he has a tremendous faith in Shiva, and he's working as a farmer. So he wants to go to once in his lifetime. He wants to go to Chidambaram temple, and that was his goal. And he was chanting Shiva's name, but his boss would not allow him to go to temple, because for some reason Nandanar was so good in whatever he was doing. His boss was possessive. He wanted to keep him. He wouldn't let him go. So then finally his boss said, the whole field, my field, if you can overnight, in one night, if you can plow the whole field, then you can go to Chidambaram. So Nandanar was crying to Lord Shiva, "Oh Lord, what is happening to me? I'm not able to go there, and my boss is giving me this kind of chore." And it so happened that Lord Shiva, he finished the whole plowing of the field, and everybody was surprised to see the whole field was plowed. And finally, the boss said, "Okay, now you can go." And because he started going to Chidambaram, the gates of Chidambaram were open at that time. It started opening by itself. And in the meantime, the priest of the Chidambaram temple had dream. Shiva came and told them, "Open the door for him. There's a person coming, and he is my devotee." But these priests, they all had doubts whether who this person is coming, and they did not allow allow this person to come. Eventually, they said he had to go through a fire test. That means he has to walk on fire. And he said, okay, and he walked on fire. And then he was okay, and the door of Chidambaram temple opened, and he merged with the Lord. That's the story.
Gopal, and the Nandi was sitting in.
Yes. Nandi moved a little bit. Yeah.
Because he cannot see the God's.
Yeah.
And then they asked him, Nandi, he was asked, Nandi, I cannot see the Lord's face. He was crying, and then Nandi moved the side to give a darshan.
Yeah, that's correct.
Thank you so much.
Sairam sister.
Thank you so much. Yes.
He is one of the 63 Nayanmars. He is called the Tirunalai Povar.
Tirunalai
Povar. That's the name. Because what was happening, as Uncle Gopalan was saying, because he was from a Parayar, actually he was a coolie, he was a Parayar caste. and he was working for somebody, and that fellow was not giving him leave, vacation. And so every day he would say, oh, I'm not getting vacation, maybe I will go tomorrow. I will go, naaleki pola, naaleki pola. Every day. Anyone he sees, he will say, I'm going to go tomorrow. So because of that, he was called Tirunalai Povar.
Tirunalai Povar, yeah.
Tirunalai Povar, that's a name given to him.
Nalai tomorrow.
Naaleki po. So, and that's the story. Thank you, Uncle Gopalan, for nicely telling the story. I think we have to.
There is a movie. If you put it in Andanar, it'll come in Tamil, so people can watch it. Aruna, you can watch.
Black and white.
It's a black and white, yeah.
Thank you so much. Those are movies are good movies.
So, you know, Swami is giving these examples to us so that, you know, we understand God does not differentiate. He blesses everyone equally, depending on their level of devotion to him. So, thank you.
And for the example of Janaka, Swami specifically is talking about Janaka because he's a Kshatriya and he became a Brahmajnani.
Yes.
And then for the Gopikas, is it because they were women?
Devotion.
Illiterate women. Illiterate.
When it says Sri Layina Gopikala, what is
women, yes.
Okay,
Sri Lanka,
saying that even though they were women, they were able to.
women, even
Yes.
women, Saijam.
So I think because the reality is, you know, there are statements even Krishna has made. For women, it is tough to get, you know, that state of merger. Yes, said, of course, then we say, how can you say, you know, differentiate us? I think that's the question which naturally comes because women naturally they have attachments, you know, for their children, the family and all that. So they're, you know, God has given that quality, okay, for certain biological or natural reason. So the amount of struggle which they have to go through to break free from that is challenging. So I think that is the reason. It's not that they are not qualified. The hurdles which they have to face in their own sense of detachment is higher. You know, but so God, that doesn't mean God has discriminated against them. I think that's what Swami is trying to prove. Even for such people, Swami, Krishna was available. Except, you know, whenever they showed a little devotion, he blessed them. So I think it's not from that sense, you know. So even though people may think otherwise, God doesn't have any differentiation. I think that's what Swami is saying. I think Janaka, because one who is wealthy, who has all the comforts, it's all very difficult to renounce it. See, when we have so much, it's very difficult to renounce and go to God. So that's why if you are rich, the chances of getting to the kingdom of heaven is not very good. So, you know, because the amount of vairagya which is needed to overcome these possessions is very, very high. So I think from the kings in the example of Janaka, because of the wealth and power and everything he had, it's not easy. Okay, so that is also a disqualification for somebody to become a Brahmajnani. So the same way women are attached, you know, they want to look after, you know, they think it is my duty. So that is emotional, you know, positions is very high to struggle against. So that's what Swami is pointing out. I think purposely Swami has given Janaka as example there. Otherwise, people think, oh, everyone is low. Why did he give Janaka? Just for this reason, so that we understand it is a completely different. It is our own personal struggles, but God looks at everyone equally. Swami knows that we will ask these questions. Okay, if everyone is okay, we can move on.
And sorry, Uncle, you said for the prema tattva munaku samanatva munaku means
the principle of love which the Lord has, and for his equal vision on everyone in his heart. These are the proofs, or evidence.
The above mentioned all the examples prove that one has no differentiation among his devotees.
Manmana bhava matbhakto matyaji mam namaskuru. This command of the Lord means just this. Keep your mind steadily on me. Be devoted sincerely to me. Prostrate before me, offering all your thoughts, words, and deeds to me. Love me steadfastly, he has commanded. He has thus indicated that what he most desires in you are a pure mind and untarnished love. Immersed in Manava Tattva, humanness, you cannot attain Madhava Tattva, Madhavaness. You have to attain Madhava Tattva to get Madhavahood. To see darkness, you must have darkness only. To see light, you should have light. To understand intelligence, you have to be intelligent. If you are constantly active about human things, how can you realize the glory of divinity? To become divine, you have to dwell in the memory of the divine, act divinely, behave divinely. The state, the environment, and the feeling all must be coordinated for that one purpose. Then only can the principle be grasped. It is on the basis of this truth that Krishna continued thus. Arjuna, jnanis are superior even to the gods who are in their turn superior to men. But these jnanis too are unable to grasp the full import of God. How then can ordinary men like you ever understand it? At this sly dig, Arjuna bent his head in shame. He said, "Yes, I agree, Krishna. You are beyond the grasp of anyone, however intelligent he may be. You are of endless manifoldness. I am convinced. You are the universal absolute. I know."
Okay.
Auntie, maybe we will read the...
Yeah. Okay. మన్మనా భవ మద్భక్తో మధ్యాజీ మాం నమస్కురు అని పలికిన దానిలో అర్థం ఇది కాక మరేమి?
So the meaning of the words manmana bhava madbhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru is just this, what has been stated above.
నాయందు మనస్సు కలవాడై నన్నే భక్తితో భజింపుము, నాకే నమస్కరించుము. నాయందు ప్రీతి కలవాడగుదువు, నన్ను పొందుదువు.
So Swami is telling, you put your mind on me,
In me.
and you, with devotion, you worship me, and you bow down to me. You have love towards me, and then you will attain me.
Yeah.
This is what the Lord said.
అనుచు భగవంతుడు తనకు ప్రియమైన పదార్థములైన మనోనిర్మలము, ప్రేమ శుద్ధి, ఈ రెండిటిని తాను ఆశించును.
So the Lord who says this, he looks for two aspects which are very dear to him, which he likes. One is the mind which is blemishless, and love which is pure.
లోకములో దేనిని తెలుసుకున్న వాళ్ళని ఆశింతురు అట్టివారు అట్టి స్థితిని పొందినచో తెలుసుకున్న వీలగును.
In this world, whatever people want to know about, whatever they wish to know about, such people, when they attain that state, then they will be able to understand what it is.
అనగా వివేకమును తెలుసుకున్నట్టుకు వివేకమే కావలెను.
That means to understand discrimination, to know what it is, one has to have discrimination.
చీకటిని చూచుటకు చీకటే కావలెను.
To look at darkness, darkness is needed.
ప్రకాశమును దర్శించుటకు ప్రకాశమే కావలెను.
For seeing the light, light is needed.
అటులనే మాధవతత్వమును తెలుసుకొనుటకు మాధవత్వమునే మనము పొందవలసిన వచ్చును.
So if we want to understand or know what is divinity, Madhavatvam, then we have to attain divinity. That's necessary. We have to earn it.
మానవత్వమును చింతించుచు మానవత్వమును తెలుసుకున్న వీలు కానిది.
If you are contemplating on only humanness, and then you would like to know what divinity is, that is not possible.
మాధవత్వమునే స్మరించుచు చరించుచు ఆచరించిన మాధవత్వమును పొందవచ్చును.
If you continuously think about divinity, then you go towards it, move towards it, and you also follow it. Charinchichu and go towards it, and you also follow it, you practice it, then you can attain divinity.
స్థానములు స్థితులు భావములు ఏకమైననే తత్వము అర్థము కాగలదు.
The place, state, one's own feeling, when they are all one, then the principle can be understood.
దీనిని పురస్కరించుకునే కృష్ణుడు అర్జునుని బావ మానవుల కంటే దేవతలను, దేవతల కంటే జ్ఞానులను అధిక స్థానమును కలవారు.
So considering this, Krishna tells Arjuna, oh my brother-in-law, the gods are higher than superior to human beings, and jnanis are superior to gods. Yes. Adhikasthanam means they are at a higher state.
అట్టి అధిక స్థానమునను జ్ఞానులు కూడాను పరబ్రహ్మ యొక్క సంపూర్ణ జ్ఞానమును తెలిసి కొనలేరు.
Even such jnanis will not be able to know the complete jnana of the Supreme Lord.
ఇక సామాన్య మానవులైన నీ బోటి వారికి ఇది సాధ్యమా అని వేళాకోళము చేసినాడు.
So he the వేళాకోళం means he sort of
వేళాకోళం అంటే
ఏళనం அப்படின்னு சொல்றாங்க.
ఏళనం
I know, but
down upon him, వేళాకోళం.
He basically condescendingly said, then such a common person like you, how is it possible for you all to understand it?
అర్జునుడు సిగ్గుతో తల వంచుకొని, స్వామి నిజమే, నిన్ను తెలుసుకున్న ఎట్టి వారికి సాధ్యము కాదు.
Then Arjuna bent his head down and said, Swami, it is true. To know you, it's not possible for anyone.
నీవు అనంత రూపుడవని నేను దృఢముగా విశ్వసించుచున్నాను.
I know that your forms are unlimited, infinite, and that I believe firmly.
Yeah. మీరే పరబ్రహ్మని భావించుచున్నాను.
I am seeing you as the
పరబ్రహ్మ.
Supreme Lord.
మీరే చరాచర ప్రపంచమును సృష్టి స్థితి లయములు గావించుచున్నారని నమ్మితిని.
So I believe that you are the one who is responsible for the creation, sustenance, and the dissolution of the world, of the prapancha.
మీరు కూడా స్వయముగా తెలిపితిరి.
Auntie,
అవ్వదా?
I think that's all. I think you
Yeah,
stop here, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know in English.
Convinced. The next sentence finishes the paragraph. That's what. మీరు కూడా
Yeah.
స్వయం తెలిపితిరి.
Yeah, yeah, I think.
I am blessed. You have already told me.
Okay, what was that last sentence? I am blessed that you have already.
Yeah.
So
It's not in this thing. Yeah.
So I think the next slide, I think, Kalyani, in English.
You have revealed yourself. మీరు స్వయముగా తెలిపితిరి. ధన్యుడను. I am blessed. That sentence is not here, Kalyani.
No, Auntie. I think విశ్వసించును నీవే అనంత మీరే పరబ్రహ్మ అని భావించుచున్నాను.
And that's
With that, actually, it stops.
That stops there.
Yeah, the English paragraph continues from there.
Prema Shuddhi is pure love.
Yeah.
Yes.
In that sentence, it says, in this world, whatever people wish to know about, when they attain that state, they will be able to understand what it is.
Yes. Yeah, because you have to attain a particular state for you to comprehend what that state is.
చీకటిని చూచుటకు చీకటే కావాలను. So the darkness, if we want to see the darkness should exist. Is it it? That's the way. చీకటిని చూచుటకు చీకటే కావాలను.
Yeah, so for us to see darkness, things around us, there should be darkness around us.
Around us, that's it. It should
Otherwise,
exist. How can you see darkness? Yeah.
if you put light, you can't see darkness because that won't exist.
Yeah.
So it's that kind of thing.
Brother Sairam, the second paragraph, the last sentence, then only can the principle be grasped. Is that the mean to become the divine, you mean? That's what it is meant, right?
So we have to cultivate divine qualities in us to be able to know who God is.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right.
So then only can the principle be grasped, is to unite with the God, right? That is the principle talking about, right?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Brother Dasan?
So Sairam, brother. So based on this paragraph, the Swami is saying, even Vedas cannot express how the God, what is the capacity, even they cannot express the whole thing. At the same time, even one person cannot read all the Vedas. So that Lord is saying, you don't need to spend that much of time and everything you don't have. Just simply you have the love and think about me all the time, and you will attain me to pure heart and pure mind. Thank you.
Thank you, brother. See, Swami is explaining what is Ananya Chinta, I think, through this Manmana Bhava Mad Bhakto Madhyaji Mam Namaskuru. It's an explanation of
Brother,
Ananya.
say it slowly, please, again, one more time. Manava
Manmana Bhava.
Manabhava, okay.
Okay, Man means me, Mana means mind, be. Your mind should be on me. Mad Bhakto, be my devotee. Mad Tyaji, you meditate on me. Mam Namaskuru,
Bow to
do
me.
bow to me.
Oh, Mam Namaskuru is bow down to
Bow
Guru.
to me.
Yes.
me.
What is that meaning again, please?
Namaskuru, Namaha Kuru. Do Namaskaram to me.
Okay, thank you.
I don't know English, you will say bow down, but that means, in front of God, we are not nothing, Nothing is ours, but it's only Him. That state of that view.
Prostrate. That's a better word. Prostrate.
Yeah.
Instead of saying bow, prostrate before me. Sashtanga Namaskaram.
Auntie, it's Shashtanga Namaskaram. Does that mean like when you're just lying flat?
Yeah, with all your 8 parts of the body should touch that ground. Sashta Anga Namaskaram. Sa Ashta Anga Namaskaram.
Is that something that like women are supposed to do or not do?
Yeah, it is said that women are not supposed to do that. We do only.
Panjanga Namaskara. That's 5.
5 Anga. 5 Angas Namaskaram.
Yes. Then gents 8.
Here also differentiation. Depending on our capacity and our body makeup.
Is there some reason why it's bad for women to do that?
If anybody knows that.
People generally say it is bad, but I don't think so. See, whatever you possess, you have to surrender in front of the Lord. Ultimately, that's what it is. Okay, it is total surrender. Sashtanga means you don't possess anything. Everything is on the table. Everything is offered to the Lord. Okay. I think women can do. Women, I don't think anything stops from them. But traditionally, people see the asana or namaskaram, the physical posture is only a symbol. But ultimately, that doesn't gain us anything. We should understand the principle behind the physical posture. For the physical posture, yeah, people, there are various reasons given, if women do Shashtangam, it will affect their, ability to procreate and things like that. All sorts of so-called scientific meanings are given. Maybe that's, I think the rishis have prescribed. So from a physical perspective, it may not be healthy for a woman to practice that on a daily basis, on a regular basis. But the posture is only symbolizing our surrender to the Lord of whatever we have.
Sai Ram.
Yes, Sai Ram.
Sai Ram. I had a dream. Swami asked me to do the Shashtang Namaskar. I did. In my dream. In my dream, that's what I did.
Yeah.
So I think it's okay to ladies too, but maybe it's depends who people different, different people has a different thing maybe. Thank you, Saira.
Thank you, Auntie. Thank you.
In some parts of India, Arun,
yes, Auntie.
For ladies, it's not prescribed for ladies to do Sashtanga Namaskar. In some parts, even now in Maharashtra, especially, in some people, the other day in the mandir, one of our friends, she's a Maharashtrian, she did the whole Sashtanga Namaskar. I said, why are you doing it? And she said, no, we do it in our own tradition. So it's okay.
So they do, I see.
They do. While doing Surya Namaskaram, if whether ladies do it or men do it. We have to touch our body in all the.
Yes.
Surya Namaskaram needs that.
This green Sampradaya. Sairam Sai Satish.
Sairam.
Yeah, so even when doing the Shashtanga Namaskar, certain parts don't touch the earth. So that is where even when we do the Shashtanga, right from the navel downwards, it is lifted in and then it is done. So of course for ladies, in terms of how even for the top part, that is the main purpose in terms of what should touch Mother Earth. In terms of the sanctity of those, that is where it is kept. So even when doing Surya Namaskar, when we do Shashtanga, even for the gents, the way all the angas touch other than certain parts, that is where they are withdrawn. And so that is, so it has both in terms of scientific and spiritual reasons, understanding behind that, and that is why it's being implemented. Sorry.
Thank you, Sai Satish. So as Sai Satish has pointed out, there are some technical differences even in how people do Shashtanga. Some people just count only the 8 parts mentioned and that only touches the ground. Actually, for that to do some of this, you need to practice push-ups and a couple of exercises before you can attempt to have the strength to do some of. Yes, Uncle Gopal, please go ahead.
Sairam, I think in my understanding, Shashtanga Namaskaram is not merely a physical Namaskaram, but total surrender. That is what I understand it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Uncle. So in Bharti, when we take Swami's Pada Namaskaram, we all do Panchanga Namaskar. Traditionally, everyone does Panchanga Namaskar. That's what I have seen. Another way to look at it is, Lord is the only Purusha. They are all three. Okay, so yes, Sai Satish, I thought you wanted to say something.
Yeah, listen, I was just going to say, with regard to what Uncle was mentioning, obviously every time we do something physical, it is to remind of the inner journey. So even when we do like Chin Mudra or anything, it is more of the inner significance than the outward expression. And that is where even when Swami is telling here, God sees the inside and not the outside appearance. So in terms of whether we are doing the Sashtanga, so we know how to hold back certain organs touching, and we know. So everything is done with a conscious effort, which is a guide to the inner journey. So ultimately it is the spirit that is important. But even as we do with the letter or with the Sashtanga, it is with that kind of a thing. So everything, it is a constant reminder. So just wanted to tell. And on a lighter note, I think definitely we would have not been able to do Sashtanga in front of Swami because there's no space also.
Yes, we will kick the people around. So I think. Yes, Brother Dasan.
Sairam, brother. So if you have any doubts, we have to refer the Vedas. That is the ultimate thing. Vedas, I don't know whether is explaining about the thing. That my understanding is surrender means you surrender your mind to the Lord. So instead of body, surrender your mind and He will take care of everything. Thank you.
Thank you, brothers. Thank you.
Sorry.
Just 1 second, Sister Shivani. Just
this reminds me, I was about to say that surrender your mind, that is mean, as Swami said, either it can go towards worldly or it can go towards the Lord, and reminds me of his first bhajan, Manas Bhajre, that surrender your mind and then I'll take you through the ocean of life.
Thank you very much, Sister. Sister Maha?
Sairam brother, the ladies do Panjanga Namaskar and the men do Attanga Namaskar. But this one has nothing to do with Shashtanga Namaskar, isn't it? Shashtanga Namaskar is mean you just fully surrender. It has nothing to do with the posture. That's what I think. I understand.
Yeah.
Am I wrong?
No, here, when it said that Mam Namaskuru, Bhagavan is saying prostrate before. That word led to the other discussions. There was nothing is mentioned here as Ashtanga or Panchanga. It's just because of that word, Namaskuru, prostration before the Lord, when brought up all these points. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Sairam sister, in Tamil we have made the Ashta into Atta. So Shashtanga means the same thing, auntie, sister, in Sanskrit. If you just Attanga is Ashtanga in Sanskrit, but the Sa is also added, as with Ashtanga you pray down to Lord.
Shashtanga Namaskar means you.
Attanga Namaskara.
Yeah, but that is, you go to the temple, male do this namaskar and female do other namaskar. But Shashtanga Namaskar means you just fully surrender everything, isn't it? It is, my understanding is Shashtanga Namaskar and this Panjanga Namaskar and Attanga Namaskar has nothing to do with Shashtanga Namaskar. That's what I think. Shashtanga Namaskar means Swami saying that not with that, you just fully surrender. Surrender to me. Am I wrong?
Okay, sister, thank you.
No, I want to know the answer, right?
So that's why I said Shashtanga means Attanga Namaskar.
Ashtanga means Attanga.
Yes, in Sanskrit, Attanga in Tamil is Shashtanga in Sanskrit.
So that means Swami saying that you do Shashtanga Namaskar.
Swami has not said Ashtanga or Panchanga. Swami has just said do Namaskaram. Okay. He has not differentiated into Shashtanga and Panchanga, but that became a discussion point only when we said prostration. How do we prostrate? I think that's where the discussion came. Because the translation of Namaskuru has been stated as prostration. So that's how this discussion took place.
But Swami saying that the Shashtanga Namaskar means you fully surrender. That's what Swami.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. Thank you, Sarah.
What are the 8 limbs?
Okay, I think we will get Sai Satish the expert too. What are the 8 parts which should touch the ground, Sai Satish?
I know it's becoming like an exam for me now. So I'll
and also explain how you guys used to do at Prashanti and what part. Yeah.
Sai Satish can demonstrate it.
Sorry now. Anna, please correct me if I'm.
Yes, tell you. Go ahead.
Yeah,
turn on the video, Sai Satish, then we can see you.
Oh no.
I'll have to then demonstrate and show, but in general, like you have starting from the head, the forehead, touching. Sorry, there's a lot of disturbance here. Yeah, so there is the forehead. Then you have the coming down. It'll come to the chest. Then the entire.
So I will, yeah. Basically 2 feet, 2 knees, 2 hands. You have covered 6. Then you have chest and face. Some people touch the chin, some people touch the forehead.
Yeah.
Thanks, Anna. That's
2 feet.
Feet, knees,
that is Ashtanga Namaskar.
Yes, 8 limbs. People wanted to know what are the 8 limbs we should touch. These are the 5.
There are 5 for the women, then the chest part doesn't touch. That's it.
Yeah.
So what are the 5 for women? Now we will ask the women which 5 numbers.
That's also Panjanga.
Yeah, Aruna, if you know, please tell. Panchanga.
So
Knee,
feet, knee, 2 hands, head.
yes,
2 hands, head,
yes.
3.
Knees, offering prayer with the eyes are closed tightly and fold hands. Knees, hands, head. That's it.
For it.
That's it. 5.
Yeah, right. So that's why they raise the feet.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
women raise the
5.
feet.
Yeah. The chest doesn't touch. For men's, yeah.
Why do they raise the feet?
Don't ask me.
Why? What's Kalyani? What's your question, Amma?
Why do you raise the feet?
Ah, that is a good question.
Sai Ram,
Yeah.
Yes, uncle.
I think many of the devotees might remember one devotee was doing Sashtang Namaskaram to Swami, and he was putting one of the feet above the other foot.
Yeah, some
And
people do that.
when he was doing it, Swami asked him which foot has to go down and which foot has to go up. And that person got totally confused.
So symbolic it is. Yeah, 1 foot goes above the other.
So both are counted, auntie, for the 8. Atanga Namaskar, 8, na, Ashtanga. So the 2 feet are counted. So why they wanted to put it up? So
Yeah.
supposed to be both on they high up, right? That's why they put the feet up.
They cross the feet.
They cross the feet, I don't know why, but it has to touch 8 Atanga Namaskar, all 8 parts, like 2 hands, 2, then their chest, 2 here, shoulder, then the knee.
It's a very good question, which we have to understand.
Then we will do some research and get back.
Yes.
But on the Panchanga, why the feet they raise, I think it's something to do with earthing, so that's some view on that, but I will check and come back. See, one of the things which they say is women are like the earth, Mother Earth. So, there's a different relationship between women and earth. They say men and earth is slightly different relationship. I think it has something to do with the magnetism of the earth and how it interacts with the female physiology and male physiology, something of that sort. So I think that's a completely different. I think
But
we'll have to.
you have mentioned about the Purusha. So you mentioned about Purusha and just like that stopped. But that means Swami only Purusha and everybody's ladies. That's why the men's also can do Attangam or Panjangam, right? Namaskar. Prostrate, they can do either way. That's what you may referred by the Purusha. Swami is only Purusha.
See, ultimately, sister, any form of puja or whatever, actually what matters is what your inner significance is. But that has much more weightage than the external postures. Which, Swami, as Sai Sathya pointed out, Swami has said, I only look at your internal view, bhava, not the external. It's only worldly people only look at the external aspects. God only pays attention to the internal aspect. If the external aspect is helping your internal state, I think that helps. But doing just the external without paying attention to the internal means the whole purpose is lost. Okay, so the external is only to remind you what your internal state should be, so that the internal state which the Lord wants to look at, he will look at. And Swami already has mentioned, he only looks for two things, from people.
Your mind and
Exactly. So Ashtanga, Panchanga, all that is incidental.
So that's why Swami didn't mention about it, but only mention prostrate in front of him, that offer to him the thought, words, and deeds.
Yes.
Yeah. So he didn't differentiate. Even for practice for boys, ladies over there, Swami didn't insist this is the way to prostrate, right? So that means Swami didn't give any importance for Ashtanga Namaskaram or Panjang.
The only thing Swami was a bit confused about which leg should be up and which leg should be down. He was trying to understand from us what is the right way to do. Yeah.
Here, Swami is saying Jnanis are superior to gods and gods are superior to men. So Jnanis occupy a very high place as devotees to the Lord. We have Arthi, Artharthi, Jignasu, Jnani. In 4 types of devotees, Jnani is given the highest place.
Auntie, the superior to God here means the devas, right? Not the, yeah.
No, devas.
Yeah, devas, yeah.
They are the gods.
Yeah.
So otherwise, the word Swami uses for what we think God is Parabrahman, Supreme Brahman. That's the word which is given, sister. God means the powers which run the world as representatives of the Lord.
దేవతల కంటే జ్ఞానులను అధిక స్నానమును కలువారు. In Telugu, Swami is saying.
So I think sometimes they use the word demigods.
Demigods. They use demigods. Devatalu.
Superior, those gods, which ones they are referring, brother? Just a few examples. Which one they are greater than? The Jnanis are greater than which gods?
All such. Who are the gods you're asking? The Adityas, even the sun. Sun is a Devata.
Yeah.
Indra,
Vayu, all those ones.
Varuna,
So Jnanis can control over all of them, right?
Their understanding of the Lord is greater than this.
Yeah.
Okay. Jnanis are superior even to the gods. So Jnanis can control. I'm thinking if they're superior, then he has a power to
control what, sisters?
Control or anything like that.
So which way they are comparing then?
They are superior in their bhakti, in their
bhakti.
Understanding
under the bhakti, okay.
Bhakti in understanding of the Lord's principle. Who is
not
Madhavatva.
Okay. Not in superior worldly thing.
No control or there is somebody coming under. No. Somebody was saying, I think.
Somebody raised their hand and who?
Ivani.
No, I was just thinking, Jnanis, if you're saying superior even to the gods, so yes, in their bhakti, but if you're saying they are demigods, are they running the world? So
different portfolio.
Sorry, say it again.
Different portfolios, sister.
Different portfolios, that's the right thing. So we are in a real sense, people like me, we pray, God give me this, God give me this. So we are praying to demigods, not the Parabrahma. Our prayers are not even reaching to that Parabrahma because it's not that pure. It's asking for me, what's for me? Give me kids, give me the house, give me luxury, give me peace. So it's just reaching to that demigods or those who have different portfolios, so they're giving you, but it's not going to our Parabrahma. That's how I'm
Yeah.
thinking.
Actually, Swami says we go to God and ask him for coffee powder also.
Yeah. But that is surrender. That's what he said. Offer everything to me. Okay, I need this too. Can you come along with me and let me buy it together? So,
No,
that
not to
means
ask,
surrender to coffee, sister.
okay. Okay.
not asking coffee powders from Swami.
Okay.
Yes, Brother Dasan.
Sairam, brother. Even here, Bhagavad Gita, we studied about jnanis and demigods, the 33 lakhs, to take care of the universe and everything. But Swami saying, instead of going through them, come directly to me, pray to me directly, Supreme Lord. So so that is the better way to do that one instead of going through the demigods. Thank you, brother.
Why we are going to the demigods is the reason that our desires are fulfilled immediately, instantly, by praying to them. Sometimes very quickly, sometimes of course late, and sometimes not also. Our desires are not fulfilled.
Yeah.
But our attention is totally into these demigods rather than going to the absolute directly. The reason is we have not able to we have not been able to perceive that superior Lord. But we go to the mandir and we see all these idols, all the demigods, and we think, we ask things, and sometimes it's granted. So our attention should be on the Paramatma, but Paramatma is giving all the wishes satisfied only through them. That we should understand. They have the limited power only, but whatever power is given to them is only given by the Lord. And Lord is satisfying our wishes through them. Sai Ram.
Thank you.
Sai Ram. Sai Ram. Can you hear?
Yeah, Sai Ram. Sai Ram.
Yes, uncle. Yes.
Swami said, you can pray to whichever God you want. All your prayers ultimately reach me, he says. So he has even said, if you talk about Swami Ganesh Chaturthi has spoken many times, always pray to Ganesha first. So I'm just saying, all our prayers reach God eventually. So
Sarvadeva Namaskaram Keshavam Pratigachati. That's what Swami himself says. Everything, whatever we do, it reaches him.
In that context, it is like the same thing, like how we have different departments and we have different department heads. And of course, we have the one boss to all of them, which is the ultimate Parabrahman. So based on the portfolio we address, it lands up in that department. And that deity has to take care of that. And that is where Swami says, if for love, service, and sadhana, these are portfolios that Bhagawan directly holds with him. So if we have anything connected to that, then it goes straight to Bhagawan. For anything else, of course, it has to go through that department, all the demigods, then to that department head god, then all the way to the Parabrahman. So that way, Sarvadeva Namaskaram Keshavam Pratigachati is there. It will ultimately go to God, but it will take its own time for the this thing to happen. So if you want direct access to God, if we are going with that love in our heart, with that attitude of service, and only that sadhana to seek him, then it goes straight to him. Sairam.
Thank you very much, Sai Satish.
Where Swami says, if we contemplate only on humanness, how can we know divinity? So when we are like in society and interacting with other humans, like what does it mean by contemplating on humanness versus contemplating on divinity?
Thank you, Kalyani. Good question. Anyone would like to share any thoughts?
So, Sairam, brother. So we are given a good time to live in this earth. but we are focusing on the temporary thing. What is the permanent one? Ultimately, we have to reach to the Lord. We don't want to go under the cycle. So you have to think about the God all the time, think about and surrender the mind to the Lord and do your duties. In that way, you will, whatever the paragraph mentioned, you will get the similarity of the God qualities. Then easy to merge with Him. Thank you.
Thank you, brother. Yes, Sai Satish.
I was just going to say that the humanness is basically I am the body. And if I'm, as long as I'm established with I am the body, I am the mind, then we stay at that level of humanness, because that is where our whole thinking or our consciousness resides. But if we go beyond and contemplate on, it's like, tell me your company, I shall tell you who you are. If I am keeping the company of of Bhagawan or the ultimate reality, then Brahmavid Brahmaiva Bhavati, then it transcends to Madhavatva. Whereas if I'm holding on to my day-to-day chores and other activities, then and reside in that state of what draws me to the gross level, then I reside at the level of humanness. While the whole effort is, of course, to, again, the same inward journey to get to the level of understanding who we truly are. Yeah.
Thank you, Sai Satish. Anyone else would like to share anything? Okay, Kalyani, I think, let me try to understand the question. Your question is, yes, I think your response may be, yes, I know that, we had to become divine, but we are forced to think of the worldly things, just to lead a normal life. I think that's the question you may have. I don't know if I've not put it properly. So the reality is, if we want to attain anything in this world, so let's leave divinity. For example, I want to become a doctor. So if I want to become a doctor, my friends will say, oh, come, let's go here, let's go there. If I am very focused on that, I will dedicate time to study what I have to get to the medical school, for example. So to that extent, I may have to neglect, or I may have to discard the distractions which may come in the way of my goal, attaining the goal. If I don't want that goal, then I can do whatever everyone else in this world is doing. So, but the reality is, we should not neglect the fact that we have to learn something. So Swami would say, so I think in terms of proportion of what effort we put in to become what we want to become, we have to separate ourselves from what the common man may indulge in. So I think it's a level of degree. If you look at all the examples Swami has given, these are all examples who they gave up everything for the Lord. So the thing is, to get to that level of vairagya, okay, it is not going to come on a single day, but I think it's a journey which we have to make step by step and in greater proportion if we want to attain the divinity. If we do not want, I think it's okay. So I think, so there is a level of sacrifice. There's a level of vairagya which we have to develop to attain divinity. So if you are thinking of the Lord, you cannot think of something else. So what I think generally most of these devotees did, they did bare minimum of thinking about the world. Everything else was about the Lord. Bare minimum, and then it may come to a stage, the God will, as Sai Satish's example, you'll remove even that deceased cow which you have. So you're completely free to think of him. So I think it requires a lot of sacrifice from a worldly perspective, a lot of struggles. But I think it is something which we have to work towards if we want to attain divinity. And that's the way I understand. Because all these examples he gave is just phenomenal, that's, Nandanar, every day wanted to go. He yearned, he prayed, he did everything. the yearning, the intensity of devotion, and how much they thought of the Lord was just phenomenal. So I hope with along with what others have said, I know it's very depressing, isn't it? When are we going to get there? Okay.
Like when you or anyone else, like when you try to think of God, like if you just say Om Sri Sai Ram again in your mind, sometimes you may be saying it but not really thinking of God or feeling love towards God. So I guess practically, do you think of stories of the Lord, or what do you think of?
A good question. See, Swami, I don't know, yesterday in our Sanskrit class, we discussed. Swami said there's Shravana is needed, Manana is needed, Nididhyasana is needed. He says Mother Sita could not have Rama because she did not have Shravana. Okay, because she could not hear the name of Rama from other people. So she was immersed in a sorrow. Even though she was Manana, she was thinking of the Lord. Thinking of, and she was practicing that also, knowing that Rama is my only form, only Lord. That also she practiced. But she apparently missed listening to the name of Rama. So that means you have to constantly listen, constantly contemplate, constantly practice. But I think your question is, sometimes we are just chanting, we're not thinking. So what to do? I think when we catch ourselves not thinking, we have to think. Swami Sai Ram, please go ahead.
Sai Ram. That's why Swami is always saying, keep a good company, satsang. It's necessary, good satsang. So we are always listening to, like today, we are listening to you and Swami's wording and all those things. This is thinking about Swami and listening about Swami. So also when we are doing the puja and everything, the eyes, hands, and my heart, everything is working that time. So that's why I like to say, thank you, Sai Ram.
Thank you very much, Auntie. Thank you.
Sai Ram, brother. One more item, brother. The reason we have to think about Lord, when we are studying Bhagavad Gita, when we are doing the bhajan, then our love is going towards the Lord. When we come to know about Him, attributes and everything, then that will bring us more viveka. Viveka is going to be more and more we understand. Then the viveka will bring the vairagya. Once you achieve the vairagya, you automatically are merging with the Lord. Thank you.
Thank you very much, brother. Thank you. Thank you. Brother has revised whatever we have studied in Sandhini Valley very nicely. Brother. So, it's 4:29. It was a good session. I think we just Manmana Bhava only we stayed. So very nice. We'll close with Samastaloka and we will convene again next week. Sai Ram, everyone. Om Samastaloka Sukhino Bhavant. Samastaloka Sukhino Bhavant. Samastaloka Sukhino Bhavant. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Jai Sai Ram.
Thank you. Thank you.